CRTV News, ici, toute l'info.
Formé au Cameroun, j'ai joué à Puma Football Club et dans le Cameroun de Yaoundé. Mon rêve a toujours été de voir une grande compétition se jouer sur le sol camerounais. Venez nombreux vivre les moments inédits du football africain.
Total African Nations Championship Cameroun 2020.
Le Cameroun célèbre le talent sportif africain. Du 16 janvier au 7 février 2021, dans les sites de Yaoundé, Fandena, Douala, Bepanda, Douala, Japoma et Limbe, Bouya.
Ce soir, Chan Show. Pour tout savoir sur la compétition, l'offre en clair de la CRTV, le tout exclusif sur le championnat d'Afrique des nations de football sur les chaînes CRTV à partir de 20h30. CRTV, au cœur de la nation.
There is beautiful music at the Yaoundé Omnisport Stadium, wonderful dance steps and beautiful regalia. A tip of the iceberg of what you will get on Saturday, January 16. It is 2 days to go to the long-awaited African football tournament, Total Chan 2020. Hello and welcome to Chan Countdown on CRTV News.
On regarde devant, le groupe de 10, on regarde devant, tout le monde regarde devant. Le groupe de 10, on regarde devant.
Africa, yelele, Africa, yelele. We are champions. Yes, we are champions. Cameroon, we are champions. It is a reality. Cameroon is organizing the 6th edition of the Total African Nations Championship come Saturday, January 16. And the good news is tickets are available across the sales points of all the host cities, with the prices ranging from 1,000 francs to 50,000 francs, depending on the sitting positions chosen in stadia. Take a look.
Football fans progressively trooping into the different kiosks of the Yaoundé Omnisport Stadium to grab a ticket for the opening game of the African Nations Championship slated for Saturday. At a time the mascot Tara chilled many on posters signaling Chan is around. In the Ministry of Sport and Physical Education, the bulk of tickets are gradually being dispatched to other sales venues. On the spot, tickets are equally being sold. Prices vary from 1,000 francs to 50,000 francs, depending on the sitting positions chosen in stadia.
I was informed by a relative that tickets are sold here, so I came to buy mine. I'm seizing this opportunity to encourage our team.
Only 25% of supporters will be granted access into stadiums during group matches, and this implies physical distancing will be under strict scrutiny. From diverse perspectives, tickets are available though limited in quantity, enough reason therefore to say first come, first served.
During such competitions, fans are usually afraid of being duped when it comes to getting a place in the stadium. Let's now listen to the president of the ticketing committee, who talks about the measures that have been put in place to avoid such situations.
We have a hologram in these tickets just to increase the security of the tickets. They have serial numbers, and many other security measures has been taken to make sure that people do not falsify these tickets. All users should know that these tickets are easily verifiable. It's thermal paper, which means even using your fingertips, you can verify to know whether the ticket is the right one or not.
Cameroon and Zimbabwe will be opening the tournament on Saturday, and Team Cameroon is promising Cameroonians victory despite their poor performance at the pre-Shan tournament. The Lions have been fine-tuning their winning strategies as 30 players have been in camp, and the good news is that none of them is sick or in the sick bay. They are all in good health and in good shape. And their coach Martin Tungupile and the team are upbeat that Cameroon will keep the trophy. They are based at their quarters is at the Yaoundé Monfebe Hotel and are holding training sessions at the Olembe Stadium. For the Tournament 2020 at its peak 2 days to go. And after the rehearsals for the main show that is coming up on Saturday, dancers, choreographers, those in charge of costumes come to their quarters here at the stadium annex to do last-minute checks like maybe costumes that need to be arranged and of course other issues. So we are going to talk to some of these dancers to know how they feel being part of this prestigious event, and also talk to the producer of the show, Fabien Blair, who is going to explain to us the whole organization process. So join.
Being a dancer in this CHAN 2021 is a really great opportunity, and everything is going very well.
Nous sommes contents de participer à la parade d'ouverture parce qu'à travers nos encadreurs, nous apprenons beaucoup. Ils nous montrent également ce que nous puissions faire afin d'accompagner nos frères camerounais.
The Lions, we are dancing to cheer them up, and the foreigners coming, we are welcoming them to Cameroon, and they should have a good stay in Cameroon and enjoy the culture.
Okay. Hello,
Hi,
Fabien.
how are you?
All right, so we are all expecting a big show on Saturday. How are you preparing for this day?
Actually, we are working since 2 weeks here, doing our rehearsals and all the installation of all our dispositifs. We're working closely with the COCAN, the different organizing commissions, and mainly NGS, who is providing to us all the artistic population of the show. As we are currently speaking in the main stadium, because here we are in our dispositif, there is a rehearsal that we have whose name is the Put Together, okay. And we'll have full runs of the show.
So how many choreographers are there, and where exactly do they come from? Are they all from INGS, or we have others coming in from some places?
No, it's a global team. Technically, we've got our own choreographers who are used to such specific events as large-scale ceremonies in stadium. So we've got people that used to work on the Olympic Games, on the FIFA World Cups. So it's an international team with experimented and talented people. So we have, for instance, one choreographer, and she's coming from Greece. We've got one choreographer, and she's coming from Russia. We've got one other choreographer coming from Côte d'Ivoire, and these 3 people from our side are working with all the choreographers from NGS. In fact, for the split, we had the choreographer from NGS that were defining the choreographies, which means, the dancing moves.
Okay.
So in order to have this heritage and this Cameroonese roots.
Okay, now, these dancing moves, what do they portray, the messages and the songs? What kind of songs did you choose and why?
Okay, so the choreographies, in fact, we've got 3 acts in the show.
The first act will be about Cameroon welcoming Africa, because it's the African Championship of Nations. The second act will be about celebrating Africa. And the third act will be about celebrating the competition. In these different acts, we'll have an evolution, because what we have is the essence of the show is about Cameroonese culture, but we didn't want it, and it was also the will of person we are discussing with, and is to have a modern touch. We want to show a Cameroon that is modern, because for all what is about classic legacy, you have it in lots of different spectacles and shows, and you don't need us because you're doing it perfectly. What we're trying to do is to highlight, to get a climax, and to have a mix between the traditional culture and a way to show how Cameroon is modern. For instance, hosting these events actually after the year we had, Cameroon is some kind of example for the events organizer, which is why we're wearing our mask, which is why there is some controls, but yeah.
Now, just to find out, this is a special year. Are there any innovations that relate to the safety measures against COVID-19?
Oh, it's complicated to have innovations regarding an event's operations. What we're trying to follow is the best practice, what we saw in our different events we produced, because we produced some in 2020, and that's main instances like federations and so put as a protocol, as health protocol, which is why we have control at the entrance with temperature. We have people have to have their hands sanitized, people have to wear their masks, and we have distances that we try to follow the most as we can, because we have 350 performers. So we are trying to do the best combination in order to follow this protocol and have the best event, because we need to show an example as Cameroon, as event organizer, that it's possible to do things, and Cameroon will be one of the first, and the first in 2021, to have a large-scale event such as the African Championship of Nations, welcoming guests in the stadium, but also having people in the organization and everything working properly, at least we hope.
Well, it's quite interesting. I saw a lot of dancers at the stadium. Now, have they been divided into groups?
Yes.
How?
In fact, they are divided into groups. We've got two types of division. We've got the type of division regarding what they're doing. So, for instance, some of them have props. Props, it's accessories, scenic accessories. So they have some sort of large, huge capes that you will see on show day. And also, you have the dancers who are more on the dancing move, like dancing choreographies. And the last one, we have what we call the référent culturel, who in a way will highlight the different main cultural areas, because that's the second division. We're highlighting, you have many ethnies. Cameroon is a really rich country in terms of culture and diversity, and it's complicated and even impossible to highlight every single ethnic and tradition. So the decision was taken in link with COCAN and the ministries to highlight and celebrate the four main cultural areas: Grassfields, Fang-Beti, Sudano-Sahelian and Sawa. And that is also our other division, okay, which you can see with the costumes and so on.
Well, thank you so much, Fabian, for talking to us. And we're wishing you luck as you organize the show, as you will be producing the show come Saturday. Well, that does it for Shan Countdown. The clock is ticking and Saturday is almost here. Thanks for following CRTV News and following the Shan Countdown on CRTV News in its last edition. Come celebrate African sports talent. It is the time for Cameroon to shine and portray its rich cultural diversity. Stay tuned to CRTV News as I leave you with this avant-goût of the choreographers, of what you will see on Saturday. Hola, hola, hola. Hola, hola. Hola, hola, hola. We are the champions. Hola, hola, hola. Hola, hola. Hola, hola, hola. Hola, hola, hola. Hola, hola. Hola, hola, hola. Hey, play. Africa, yelele. Africa, yelele. We are champions. Africa, yelele.
Ce soir, Chan Show. Pour tout savoir sur la compétition, l'offre en clair de la CRTV, le tout exclusif sur le championnat d'Afrique des nations de football sur les chaînes CRTV à partir de 20h30. CRTV, au cœur de la nation.